Hey, what's happening, you sexy YouTube warriors out there? Range Day Bro back with another one today. We are looking at the Aero Precision M5E1, my favorite build. All right, so what we have here is the Aero Precision M5E1, and this guy came as a builder set straight from Aero Precision. I'm gonna get into this build and just kind of go over the parts I have in it right quick. I won't go too much into the specs. If you want to look at the specs, there's probably 10 other videos, 20 other videos that go over the specs of this rifle. So I will talk mostly about the products I have in it, really. So getting into it, we're going to go tip to butt, grand thumb style. So here at the front, this is a recurring theme with most of my builds. You'll see here is a Dead Air Chemo mount. This is their 3-chamber brake. This is so that I can mount my Dead Air Sandman S and or my Dead Air Nomad 30 to this when I get the Chemo set up. Once those come in, I'll be able to mount it up on these Chemos. That's why all my rifles, all my pistols have those that are suppressor ready. But moving back from there, we have a 18.5 inch, or 18 inch rather, Ballistic Advantage stainless steel fluted barrel. Ballistic Advantage, you guys have probably, if you're looking at watching this video, you probably know who Ballistic Advantage is. They're a sister company, I believe, with Aero Precision. Really great company, great reputation, but this barrel, stainless steel, is known to wear faster, but also to be more accurate, and I could speak to the accuracy of this, and I was going to talk about that a little bit when I got into the scope that we have here, but consistent shots out to 700 yards with this baby, a 308 chambered AR10, consistent 700 yard shots out of 45 out of 50 shots. And the first couple I missed because I was finding the wind hold, and then the last couple I missed because I was just messing around trying to see if I could hit a top corner or a bottom corner. So really super accurate barrel. I have no complaints on the barrel here. But moving on, it's got an Aero Precision low profile gas block here, and then below I have the Magpul Picatinny mounted bipod there, which makes for very easy bench shooting, which I must mention, this is a bench gun. It's a very heavy gun. I would call this a DMR type build, and just for fun's sake, I have the Magpul D60, but she is clear. So going on back from there, we have the rail on this guy, and this is the M5E1, and the E stands for enhanced. This is their enhanced upper receiver and handguard combo, and all that's referring to is that the upper receiver actually has the component which mounts the handguard up is actually one piece where this handguard mounts up to the upper section. So the upper receiver is actually a single piece, and so that's what it's referring to as the E enhanced, and this just bolts right up to this upper receiver using 8 little torque head screws, and super solid lockup. I've never had it shift, and I think it's one of the most bomb-proof designs in the market today. I love Geisley rails, I love BCM rails, there's a lot of rails I love, but this upper receiver, especially on a thick boy like this, I don't mind the super round handguard that this Aero has, but it's got plenty of venting, and the top Picatinny rail sections also ported out to save weight. Just have some BCM rail panels on here, cheap ones, like 10 bucks, but they get the job done really well. But you have M-LOK at 3, 6, and 9. Pretty standard stuff there, but I'm a huge fan, and obviously the camo pattern matches the rest of the builder set. That's the beauty of the Aero Precision when you're going with them. So moving back from there, as I already mentioned the upper a bit, Aero Precision upper, which is the enhanced upper. So there's no seam here. It's one piece where this handguard mounts up, which is really sweet. And a couple other things that are cool about the Aero enhanced upper is this pin right here that holds your forward assist in place is actually threaded, so you don't have to worry about beating that in while holding spring pressure. It makes a big difference, believe me. And then getting into the lower, the Aero enhanced lower also features a threaded bolt release here. This bolt release is actually this, again, not a pin you have to beat into place. It's a threaded pin, so you don't have to scratch up your receiver set when you're installing it. But in the lower receiver, I have a Rise Armament trigger. It's their RA140 trigger. I got it on sale for about 100 bucks, if I remember correctly. And it is a 2.5 pound trigger. Great trigger, flat face, single stage. Big fan of that. And obviously for the price, it was super cheap, so I have no complaints at all on that. I have a radiant selector here. I have it on a 45-degree throw. You can set it to 90 degree or 45 degree, which I like how they have that as an option. And then a Hogue grip, nothing really groundbreaking, just a Hogue grip. I like the finger grooves in this specific one for long range shooting. And the other thing I like about the Radian, it's ambidextrous as I mentioned, so it's on both sides of the rifle. But also, when I'm shooting long range, I can just kind of rest my thumb here. As I go to shoot, I'll aim down sight and then I'll leave my thumb on the same side of the rifle, so I'm not jerking the trigger as much when I wrap my thumb around. But something small there. Going back to the upper receiver, I have a Radian Raptor charging handle. This is the gray one to match the gray and black of the pattern, and inside I have a Aero Precision bolt carrier group. Aero Precision bolt carrier group, Aero Precision upper and lower set. You really can't go wrong when you're matching parts, especially Aero Precision to Ballistic Advantage. I've heard guys say they have issues with AR10s and builds, so they'll never build an AR10 again. It's not like AR15s where it's all standardized, there's mil-spec parts. Moving on, I have the Magpul PRS Gen 3 here, and this was actually a FDE stock when I bought it, because I originally, like I mentioned, I wanted to have an FDE type camo or an all FDE pattern M5, but this was just what was available, and I got lucky to even snag this. And even to this day, Aero is very difficult to get a hold of their products because they're good products for a good price, and they fly off the shelf. So, but I did some home, some rattle can spray paint on this guy, and turned out really well. I put a little mesh bag over it and the little gray and black. It's not obviously matching the camo, but the colors match, and it looks pretty good to me. And it's actually wearing off, and as it wears, the FDE kind of shows through, which I'm not mad about it. It looks pretty decent still. Even if the FDE comes all the way through, I'm probably not going to change the stock out. But to the top of the gun, to the eyeball you got here, we have the Vortex Strike Eagle 5-25 first focal plane. So this is Gen 2 of the Strike Eagle. The first gen was 4-24, I believe, and this is the 5-25, and it's sitting in a worn 20 MOA mount here. So that mount gives me 20 MOA of tilt forward, so that I have more room to dial when I'm shooting at the range, especially because the 308 has a lot of drop off. So that's nice. That's a nice feature it's got there. And I really can't say enough about the scope. On the scope, I actually have Atom mount lens covers, and these things are absolutely the best lens covers on the market. Have a little latch down here on this eyepiece. Makes it really nice and easy to just boom, pop it right open. You could paste your dope card in the inside of that. I'm not really that cool, so I don't have one yet, but big fan of the lens covers. And all around, just the rifle in general, let me go over what it's like to shoot. With the brake, it's very manageable, although you will be that guy at the range. People will not necessarily love you for that. But moving forward, what's it like to shoot? Like I said, with that brake, it's really pleasurable, real simple. The brake of the trigger, that's 2.5 pound, it's really nice. On a bench, great. You don't want to be walking around with this thing. Just being honest, if you wanted to have an AR, or I'm sorry, a 308 rather, to walk around and hunt with, I took this hog hunting and we were trying to track hogs through the brush, and man, this thing is not very forgiving on you. That's why having a sling is 100% necessary, and I might as well throw this sling on here. You guys can see what it looks like slinged up. But yeah, 100% necessary when you're walking around with this guy. You want the sling, as you see here, makes it much more manageable, and you know, now it's on your back, it's with your center of gravity. So if you're going to be building something or using you want to look for a 308 to go hunting and really trekking through the woods with, I wouldn't take this. I wouldn't build you an M5E1 like I have here. I would just honestly get you a bolt action Mossberg or Savage. I'm a big fan of Savage. Those are so much lighter, and a lot of you guys probably aren't hunters if you're watching this type of video, but I figured I would just throw that out there. I have taken this hog hunting, and it was a beast to trek around with. But as a bench gun, as a range gun, as let's see how far we can push a 308, or obviously you can get this barrel and a 6.5 Creedmoor. All you'd have to do is change the barrel out, and then you have a 6.5. Much better ballistic coefficient on that round than the 308, but I like to stick with the same calibers I have, so I got a lot of 308. But that's pretty much it, guys. Nickel boron on the bolt carrier group. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's about it. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments, but otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you sexy YouTube mother lovers later. Thanks, Brandon. Peace.